Good morning. Again, we are back at the Mayville, where the Premier and the Minister of Public Works will be reopening the forensic laboratory that was damaged during the floods. So let's go and see what is laboratory entails of.
This is the Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi Lab, laboratory handed over by Public Works Infrastructure Minister to Acting Police Commissioner, Professor.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Let me start by welcoming all of you.
Good morning to all of you. This is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today, short as I am, as we mark a significant milestone in strengthening the capacity of the South African Police Service at the official opening of this forensic science lab. This facility represents a far more than bricks and mortar that you see around. It is a symbol of unwavering commitment to justice, to professionalism, and to the safety and security of all South Africans. In an era where crime is becoming increasingly sophisticated, our response must be equally advanced, precise, and rooted in science. As we go around the building, you could see that technology is at the core of what is in here. So it means we are moving on with time so that we can deal with the crime that we are facing now, which are very different. And as government, we are acutely aware of the concern raised by communities regarding delays in forensic results, particularly DNA analysis. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to addressing these challenges decisively. It's very difficult for a family to wait for more than a month, to be able to bury their loved ones. It's emotionally and what is just very difficult. So we are a hearing government, we are a listening government, and that's what we are trying to do in terms of this facility. And this facility is part of a broader strategy to modernize policing. We no longer use only sticks, restore public confidence and ensure that justice is not delayed. We have the NDP here with us. We had the judge, the land judge here. So all of us are working together so that we must not delay justice, because justice delayed is justice denied. We commend the men and women who will serve in this laboratory. It's very scary. It's like you are in a COVID era, but we commend them for really serving in this laboratory, our scientists, analysts, and technical experts. Your work, though often unseen, is vital in securing conviction and ensuring that the rule of law prevails. You are the backbone of evidence-led policing. Once again, we welcome you all to this opening of this facility, and I can assure you this is not the first or the last one. We would want to do it all over in South Africa so that we improve our policy. Thank you very much.
The second speaker will give us overview and purpose. That will be combined with a message of support. That will be dealt with by the Deputy Minister of Police, Honorable Matale. Please, the platform is on DM. Thank you very much. Just give me a round of applause.
Thank you, Program Director. That was too quick. Thank you, DG. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge and greet the Premier of our province, Mr. Thamsanqa Ntuli, the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Minister Dean McPherson, Deputy Minister of Police, Dr. Bushielo, the Acting Deputy National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Kamani, Divisional Commissioners that are here with you, the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, and congratulations, General, on the extension of your contract. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And today marks a significant milestone in the ongoing strengthening and modernization of the South African Police Service. This occasion represents more than the handing over of infrastructure. It signifies a strategic investment in our ability to deliver on our constitutional mandate to prevent, combat, and investigate crime and to secure the safety and security of all people in South Africa. KwaZulu-Natal Forensic Science Laboratory stands as a symbol of progress in our journey towards a more professional, capable, and technologically advanced police service. It reflects government's commitment to building a criminal justice system that is efficient, credible, and responsive to the needs of our communities. Forensic science is a cornerstone of modern intelligence-led policing. It enables us to move beyond reliance on circumstantial evidence and towards scientifically verified facts. Within our forensic environment, specialized disciplines such as DNA analysis, ballistics, toxicology, chemistry, and question document examination play a critical role in supporting investigations and strengthening prosecution. Through these capabilities, we are able to reconstruct crime scenes, establish links between suspects and offenses, and present evidence in court that is objective, reliable, and beyond reproach. That's why today we are also joined by the judiciary. We have two judges that are with us here and the prosecution authority, because what we are opening today play a critical role in their work, and we appreciate their presence here today. In this way, forensic science not only strengthens our investigations, but also safeguards the integrity of the criminal justice process. This facility will significantly enhance our capacity to respond to priority crimes, including violent crimes, gender-based violence and femicide, serious organized crime, and drug-related offenses. Importantly, it will improve our ability to deliver timely forensic results, thereby reducing case backlogs, particularly in DNA analysis, and accelerating the finalization of cases. The impact of this far-reaching: victims will receive justice more swiftly, investigations will be concluded more efficiently, prosecutors will be better equipped to secure convictions, public confidence in law enforcement will be strengthened. Program Director, this laboratory is also a critical enabler of the broader reform and modernization agenda within the South African Police Service. It aligns with our focus on professionalization, the adoption of technology, and the enhancement of investigative capacity. It further supports our integrated approach within the criminal justice value chain, working closely with the National Prosecution Authority and other key stakeholders. We must also recognize that infrastructure alone does not deliver results. It is the people within these facilities who bring it to life. The scientists, analysts, and forensic experts who will serve here carry a profound responsibility. Their expertise, diligence, and ethical conduct are essential to ensuring that justice is served without fear or favor. The investment, therefore, extends beyond bricks and mortar. It includes continuous skills development, adherence to international best practices, and the strengthening of partnerships with academic and scientific institutions. In doing so, we ensure that the SAPS remains at the forefront of forensic innovation and excellence. To the people of KwaZulu-Natal, this facility is a clear demonstration of government's commitment to our safety and to the rule of law. It is a reassurance that your case matters, that your voices are heard, and that every effort is being made to uncover the truth and hold perpetrators accountable. As we officially hand over this facility today, let us reaffirm our collective commitment to professionalism, integrity, and service excellence. Let this laboratory stand as a center where science and justice converge, where evidence speaks with authority, and where the truth prevails. In closing, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to all departments, stakeholders, and partners who contributed to the successful completion of this project. Your collaboration has made this milestone possible. And I wish to thank you, Minister Mcpherson, Premier, Deputy Minister, the National Commissioner in absentia, but represented here by Lieutenant General Kamani, the acting DNC, for his commitment to ensure that this becomes possible. Of course, General Mkhwanazi, we have had pitch battles on this process, and at some point we were not believing that we will arrive here today, given the journey we have traveled from Umzimtoti with the challenges in the laboratory here. Indeed, working together, it is possible. We are here today. The facility is handed to us. It is now our job to take it forward. Thank you very much for this, Minister, and thank you for being steadfast and delivering on what we have agreed we should do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister Matale. Those are encouraging words. Let me then invite the Father of the Province, Umpemba, to really address us. Thank you very much. The Premier of the Province.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today not only as a Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, but as the Executive Authority for Community Safety and Liaising, deeply conscious of the responsibility we carry to restore public trust, uphold justice, and protect the dignity of every citizen. Today is not merely a ceremonial handover. It is a statement of intent. It is a declaration that the future of policing in our province will be guided not only by courage and commitment, but by science, by precision, and by truth. One of the earliest resolutions of the 7th administration was to confront with urgency and honesty the structural weaknesses in our fight against crime. Central to that reflection was a simple but profound question. How do we ensure that justice is not delayed, not denied, but delivered with a certainty? The answer led us here to the deliberate investment in forensic science as a cornerstone of modern crime detection and prosecution. I recall our engagements with national leadership and the professional commissioner here in KwaZulu-Natal, including partners across sectors, united by a shared understanding that the nature of crime is evolving, and so too must the instrument we deploy against it. At the time, we contemplated locating such a facility in rural KwaZulu-Natal, guided by the painful realities of gender-based violence and femicide. What remained a constant, however, was our conviction that science and technology are not luxuries in the pursuit of justice. They are necessities. This facility stands as a testament to that conviction. Forensic science transforms a suspicion into certainty. It allows evidence to speak where fear has silenced witnesses. It brings a clarity where there is confusion, and it restores confidence in a system that must, above all, be trusted. In laboratories such as this, the smallest fragment, a fibre, a fingerprint, a strand of DNA becomes a voice for the voiceless, a pathway to truth, ultimately a foundation to justice. But beyond the technology and infrastructure, this laboratory represents something deeper, a shift in how we understand crime solving. It signals a move from reactive policing to intelligence policy, where data analysis and scientific rigor guide our interventions. It strengthens the entire criminal justice value chain, from investigation to prosecution, ensuring that those who commit crimes are held accountable through evidence that is credible, reliable, and beyond reproach. For the people of KwaZulu-Natal, especially the victims of crime, this is a moment of renewal. It affirms that their pain has not gone unseen, that their calls for justice have not gone unheard. For far too long, delays in forensic processing has weakened cases and eroded confidence. Today we say no more. Today we invest in a system that works with agency, with integrity, and with purpose. As the government of provincial unity, we are clear that building a safer province requires partnership. It requires alignment between national, provincial, and local spheres of government. It requires collaboration with the private sector, academia, and communities themselves. This laboratory is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a more coordinated, more capable, and more technologically empowered approach to safety. Program Director, it will be remiss of me not to recognize and commend men and women in blue who stand on the front line of our collective fight against crime in this province. Through their courage, discipline, and unwavering commitment, we have begun to see a measurable decline in crime levels compared to where we stood 20 months ago. These gains are neither accidental nor insignificant. They are the result of sustained effort, sacrifice, and a deep sense of duty to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Hence, I always acknowledge the leadership of Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the Provincial Commissioner in the province of KwaZulu-Natal in police. I'm worried, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, for a new task, a national task, whether that task may not interfere with the strength that we have in the province. But I believe to the men and women that you are working with, that they will be able to assist you while you do the work at the national and also here in our province. Equally, we pay tribute to many community members who have organized themselves into safety structures across our province. These citizens, often working without recognition or reward, have demonstrated that the fight against crime is not the responsibility of the state alone, but a shared societal mission. Their vigilance, cooperation with law enforcement, and commitment to discipline have strengthened the fabric of community safety and reaffirmed the principle that safer communities are built through active citizenship. Today, we say to both our law enforcement officers and our communities, you are not alone, and your efforts are now reinforced. The introduction of this REP is a force multiplier into your work. It enhances the ability of police to investigate with precision, equips prosecutors with irrefutable evidence, and ensures that the sacrifices made on the ground translate into successful conviction. In this way, science and technology becomes partners in justice, amplifying human effort, strengthening accountability, and bringing us closer to a safer KwaZulu-Natal for all. Let this day be remembered as a turning point, a moment when we chose to match our words with action, our commitments with capability, and our vision with infrastructure. A moment when we affirmed that in KwaZulu-Natal, justice will not be a matter of a chance, but a matter of certainty, grounded in science, guided by integrity, and delivered without fear or favor. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give the Premier another round of applause. The Premier, we've said you're going to speak until 10:10. It's actually 10:10. Check your watches. I think I'm directing this very well. And we said the minister is going to start at 10:10. Let me then introduce the address by our minister, Mr. Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who accidentally is my boss. Can you come to the stage and address us, Mr. Professor? Thank you.
Thank you very much, DG Mdekane. To the Premier of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Tami Ntuli, my home province, the Deputy Minister of Police, Dr. Polly Boshielo, Deputy Minister of Police, Mr. Castle Matale, the Honourable Ian Cameron, Member of Parliament and Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Police, judges of the KwaZulu-Natal Division of the High Court, the Acting Deputy National Commissioner, the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today for the official handover of the KwaZulu-Natal Forensic Science Laboratory here in Mayville. Today is a big day for the people of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, the South African Police Service, and the fight against crime. Does someone want to get that? Thank you. Today is a big day for the people of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, the South African Police Service, and the fight against crime. It is a day where we reiterate that the rule of law and the protection of the criminal justice system remain our number one priority. It also shows what happens when the state does its job properly, when departments work together with purpose, and when infrastructure is delivered not for its own sake, but to help solve the greatest crisis facing our country, that being crime and criminality. Crime is the number one enemy of South Africa's future. It keeps us locked up in our homes, in self-imposed prisons, and even that is not enough to keep out the criminals. It stalks women and children for the very fact that they are women and children. It extorts businesses, shop owners, and construction sites, ruining people's livelihoods. It threatens our farmers and rural communities with extreme violence, which jeopardizes our food security. This is the daily reality for millions of people because criminals have no fear that they will get caught. A country cannot thrive when its people live in fear. A country cannot grow when criminals act with impunity, and a country cannot build a better future when the rule of law does not make those that operate fear without fear think twice. That is why defeating crime cannot be the responsibility of the South African Police Service alone. It requires every part of government to play its role. It requires police officers on the ground. It requires prosecutors in the courts. It requires intelligence and coordination. And it also requires the right infrastructure. And that is where the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure comes in. As the department, we are committed to playing our part in the fight against crime by delivering the infrastructure that enables law enforcement to act effectively, professionally, and with the tools required to bring criminals to justice. This forensic science laboratory is a clear example of that commitment in action. The facility we hand over today will support the forensic investigative work of the South African Police Service in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. It brings together specialized forensic services into a single, secure, fit for purpose environment, strengthening the state's ability to process evidence, support investigations, and improve the integrity of the criminal justice system. Let me tell you that this has been a personal and a passion project for me. Because when forensic services are weak, delayed, fragmented, or compromised, justice suffers. Cases are delayed, investigations are weakened, and victims continue to live in fear while criminals live without it. But when forensic services are strong accurate, secure, and efficient, the opposite happens. Evidence is processed properly, investigations are strengthened, cases move faster, convictions become more likely, and innocent people are also protected from wrongful prosecution. That is the power of forensic science in a constitutional democracy. It serves the people of this country and restores the rule of law. It helps ensure that criminals are held accountable, and the need for this new facility is absolutely clear. The forensic units that served this province were previously spread across multiple leased buildings in Amanzimtoti and across Durban. Those facilities were unsuitable for the specialized work that had to be done there. Some were located in flood-prone areas, which damaged critical evidence and negatively affected service delivery. Others lacked proper security infrastructure, had limited parking, ongoing maintenance problems, and unsafe conditions for specialized work. That is not good enough for our men and women in blue, and that is not good enough for the people of this province. And it's not good enough for a country that must be serious about fighting crime. Evidence cannot be left vulnerable to flooding. Specialized forensic units cannot be allowed to operate in facilities that do not meet their needs. And the men and women doing this critical work cannot be expected to deliver justice from spaces that undermine their mission. So action had to be taken. And following a request from the SAPS for alternative accommodation, the department moved to procure a readily available facility through an open tender process in order to minimize delays and provide improved operational environments. This was not without its challenges and differences. That is why the Director General and myself personally oversaw this project, because it was too important to be left to officials who had not delivered solutions up to this point. We spent many hours in calls, on-site meetings, and in tough negotiations to get this done. And we did it with the help of the private sector, understanding that in many instances we can rely on their infrastructure to solve some of our problems. The new facility here in Mayville was secured as an interim solution while work continues towards a permanent, world-class, state-owned forensic laboratory in Pinetown. And that is an important point. What we are handing over today is not the end of the journey, but it is a critical step forward in it. It is an immediate and practical intervention to improve forensic capacity now, while government continues work towards a permanent, long-term solution. Plans for that permanent Pinetown facility are already underway, with concept design work having been commenced and the project being positioned as a build, operate and transfer pilot model in the SAPS. So today we are doing two things at once. We solve an urgent operational problem in the present, and we continue building toward a more sustainable solution for the future. That is what a responsible government does. Ladies and gentlemen, this facility will house key specialized units, including the biology unit, chemistry unit, and question documents unit. These units play an essential role in the criminal justice process. The biology unit undertakes the analysis of biological evidence such as body fluids, tissue, and hair, including DNA analysis for human identification. The chemistry unit conducts forensic drug analysis and analyzes chemical substances. The questions document unit examines documents for forgery, handwriting, altercations, and authenticity. These are not just abstract functions. These are real capabilities that help and solve real crimes. They help build cases, they help verify facts, and they help to connect the perpetrators to scenes and acts of violence. And they help ensure that justice is grounded in evidence to guarantee convictions. This is especially important when it comes to serious crimes such as murder, sexual offenses, and gender-based violence. In far too many of these cases, the pain suffered by victims and families is compounded by delays, uncertainties, and inconsistencies in the system. A capable forensic service cannot erase that pain, but it can help ensure that investigations are stronger, that prosecutions are better supported, and that perpetrators face the full consequences of their actions. That's why this facility matters. It matters to the police officers in this building. It matters to the prosecutors preparing for court. And it matters to the victims awaiting justice. And it matters to every South African who deserves to live in a safer country. This is how the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure is playing its part. We may not wear the same uniform as a police officer, but we can deliver the infrastructure that strengthens the hand of the police. We may not wear prosecutor robes, but we can help ensure that the physical environment from which justice is supported is worthy of the task. And we may not conduct forensic analysis ourselves, but we can make sure that those who do have the kind of secure and fit-for-purpose facility that they need to do that work well. That is why I've said, when I took office 21 months ago, I wanted to turn the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure into an economic delivery unit for this country. That vision is often understood only in the terms of fixed investment, growth, construction, and jobs. And of course, it does mean all of those things. But it also means something more broader, more profound, and a higher calling. It means ensuring that the infrastructure delivered by the state serves the strategic needs of our country. Infrastructure is not neutral. It is a powerful weapon in the fight against crime. It can restore the rule of law and ensure that our communities sleep safer at night, that our women and children are protected, that our farmers and rural communities can enjoy the vastness of their land without fear of attack, that our business sector thrives and provides new jobs to those waiting for a better tomorrow. This handover reflects my clear commitment to ensuring that Public Works ramps up our efforts to give the police the infrastructure they need to enforce the rule of law. Because crime is the #1 enemy of South Africa, and defeating it requires all of us to play our part. Today, this is ours. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mkhwanazi. We are now closing to the end. Let me then take this opportunity to allow our Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, to do the vote of thanks on behalf of the state. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Program Director, the DG. Allow me to salute my seniors that are present here today, and Program Director to also acknowledge the protocol that has already been observed for the sake of time. Today indeed marks the official handing over of the Forensic Science Laboratory building in Mayville, in this wonderful province of ours, KwaZulu-Natal. So this indeed is a very important milestone for us. The Deputy Minister has already spoken about it. While this is not, as the Minister said, is not a full program that we wish to have as South African Police Service in KwaZulu-Natal, but this is the beginning of a long term for us to achieve a professional analysis of the work that we do through the Forensic Lab. So this handing over is indeed a milestone for us, and it helps us to have to deliver a professional service to the citizens out there. Forensic Lab as an infrastructure that we have, that we are handing over, that has been received by us today, is going to ensure that we have an effective crime investigation in the work that we do as the police. And this will include the forensic analysis of the evidence, especially the DNA, firearm, drugs-related evidence that we need to get it analyzed here. So therefore, a proper facility is essential, not only for the analysis, but also for to secure the evidence that has been collected. The members are working very hard day and night, protecting the citizens and making sure that crime doesn't occur. But when it occurs, our investigation team, they work tirelessly day and night to make sure that they collect evidence and put together the case and present it to the forensic lab. And therefore, it's important for them to be able to be assisted to have the good results coming out of the lab and speeding up the process. These current challenges that we have as a forensic lab in the work of the police in KZN that we are serviced by the forensic labs in the main that are far away from the province, Pretoria and Cape Town. That's where we rely. So the challenges that has been experienced by the members, especially in this province, is that we've been having different operational areas where the members have to work, and that is creating a challenge to the command and control. So having the members housed in one area like this is going to improve the performance, is going to improve the command and control, and the handling and the processing of the evidence that we are going to be getting out of this lab. So the minister has already said that we still do need a fully functioning lab that is going to be built, and I hope in the near future that is going to be realized. We did speak, I'm sure the DG knows, and the minister, that we have some of our police facilities available in the province, especially at the eThekwini, that can be repurposed for the purpose of a short-term arrangement such as this one, to make sure that we have more services of the lab. So we are going to be visiting some of those, and hope that we're going to be assisted also by the department to get those facilities ready so that we can expand our services on this. So indeed, as I said, the turnaround time is going to be reduced once we have this lab fully functional. I know that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done by the South African Police Service in making sure that we equip these facilities with necessary machinery that is going to help us to deliver the service. We know that there are analysts that have been recruited, training is taking place, so that as when the physical resources that are going to be procured, procurement has already started, when those machines come in, that we can officially invite the media, where we can, as South African Police Service, have an official opening of this lab, when all the services that we're going to be expecting are going to be conducted. So while we're having these constraints, as I said, we still continue with the professional work as a South African Police Service to make sure that we deliver the service that is needed by the community at large. I therefore want to, as I summarize, express my appreciation for the stewardship to the minister that is given to us by the Minister of Public Works. I remember the meetings that we've had, Minister, at the DPW right next door, and you had, and with Minister Mkhwanazi, who fought about what we need to put together on this, and the Deputy Ministers here. And when we went back, and there's a structure that's created by the Judge President, she's not here, but the judges are here, and the Judge President has got that efficiency enhancement working committee. And when the Public Works were presenting to the JP and seems to suggest that things were working smooth, and I was against that, and I said, no, JP, things are not as they look. Mr. Villiers will tell you. So it was not a very nice engagement we had, and the JP was surprised. So that's why then the JP ended up joining the meeting that the ministers had, and where she could hear herself that things are not as we think they are. But I'm glad that today we are here, and with all this support from different structures, the DPP is here, can also witness and attest to that. Minister, there is thousands and thousands of backlog cases that are not finalized in court. And the guidance from the judges, the Judge President, judiciary as a whole, the guidance from the prosecution under the leadership of the DPP, it helps the investigation team to deliver a well-structured, a more professional case docket to court in order to make sure that we have a successful prosecution. So there are efforts in terms of assisting us to fight and make sure that we get this lab. It is because they are getting frustrated by the work that we give them. We, the police, must consolidate a docket and put all the evidence required so that we can make the work of the prosecution much easier. And in so doing, the judiciary also don't struggle in deciding cases. And by so doing, the Republic, the citizens in the Republic are going to be assisted by getting justice. So I want to thank the Minister for this leadership. And I also want to thank the acting minister, not here, but represented by the two deputy ministers, for your support and guidance. I know the Special Deputy Minister Matale always fight with us with regard to the forensic issues. And I'm glad Dr. Bushielo is appreciating the IT infrastructure that we're beginning to see, because that has always been a drive, that we need to start moving towards IT, and that is a passion. So I hope that the colleagues at the Forensic Lab are also going to do everything they can to make sure that we deliver the service that we want. Last but not least, colleagues from Gerald Fani, from supply chain, we hear you actually the one that is receiving the building, because you're going to be the custodian of making sure that there's compliance with the standards set by Public Works on behalf of the South African Police Service. But also Nhlanhla being here and your colleagues who are the ones that are going to be using the building. So the two of you, I'm sure you're going to help us to make sure that we look after this building and we keep it in good condition as we see it, and make sure that whatever challenges that are experienced are communicated with Public Works on time, so that whatever that needs to be fixed can be fixed on time, so that we can have a good work done. On behalf of the community that are here, I've seen the representative CPF of the secretary of the CPF, and I want to give assurance, and thank you for being here, and give assurance that from men and women in blue, that will continue delivering the service in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. With the assistance that we're going to get from this lab, we will make sure that we don't leave any case, we don't close any case without finalizing it. So we'll make sure that we deliver the service that is expected from the South African Police Service and the entire law enforcement in the province. So I want to thank you, Minister and Deputy Minister Premier. Sir, you've made it more difficult. My communication people are already telling me that the media is not interested in asking about the lab today. They're interested on the other part that the Premier spoke about. But I cannot give you assurance, Premier, that as you have appointed me in the province together with the National Commissioner, I'm here to deliver the service, and I'll make sure that we continue doing so, whether I'm doing it full-time in the province or I'm doing it partially from the national office. The tasking the National Commission is giving me is that of making sure that we assist in coordinating the fight against organized crime in the country. So KZN is also affected. So if you see me wearing that hat, it does not necessarily mean that I'm neglecting the province. I might be wearing that hat, but focusing on organized crime that's affecting you in the province, Premier. So you're still going to benefit from the work of men and women in blue. And I think we need to always appreciate the fact that it remains a South African police service. So we work the entire republic, anywhere where we are needed, we'll deliver the service. So I'm still available. Thank you so much, Minister.